Welcome to Planning Phase Syndicate. This is our X-Wing podcast. Yes, folks, we've had like 3 X-Wing podcasts in the last 2 weeks. This one is episode 154, and we've got some amazing spoilers. So if you've been playing some of the new XWA points, we've got spoilers that are going to be released today on our show. We have them. They're exclusive. No one else has them. We get to talk a little bit about them. So please welcome JJ to the show tonight. Thank you so much for joining me, sir.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm extremely honored. We're both honored that the XWA provided us these spoilers here for the next wave of stuff that's coming up, and we're excited to go over them. And let's jump with a slow hesitation.
Yeah, well, you got to. I had the other stuff up first, so.
All right.
All right, so here's the spoilers. They gave us some Resistance spoilers tonight that we're going to go over and talk a little about. Of course, they're standard loadout cards. That is the first new pilots that we're going to be getting. Hopefully, some of these will be cool replacements for some of the other pilots that we really can't fly much anymore. So, JJ, I'm going to let you kick it off. Tell us about Goody, because I'm not going to even try to pronounce the first name.
Yeah, so Pamich be good. We got the Initiative 3 Resistance Transport Pilot Pamich Nero Good from the evacuation of the car. Still the same stats. We got 2 attack dice, 1 defense, 5 hull, and 3 shields. Still has the original ability. While you have 2 or fewer stress tokens, you may execute red maneuvers even while stressed. And it has a new chassis ability, which reads, leave no one behind after you perform an action. If you have fewer than 2 stress tokens, you may gain a stress token. And if you do, another friendly small ship at range 0 to 1 may gain a deplete token to perform a boost action. And then for the new upgrades that it has here, we got For the Cause. This is a brand new one made specifically for this pack. This one reads, while you defend or perform an attack, you may spend 1 non-blank result to choose a friendly strained or depleted ship at range 1 to 2. That ship may remove 1 strain or deplete token, which is really strong considering that it pairs so well with the Leave No One Behind ability. And then next we got the new Astromech R0GR, and it reads, while you have 2 or fewer stress tokens, you may perform coordinate and jam actions even while stressed. And after you perform a coordinate or jam action, gain 1 calculate token. And then we got the Black Squadron R4 Astromech, which is a new Astromech for this. Comes with 2 charges, and it reads, after you fully execute a blue maneuver, you may spend a charge to remove all of your stress tokens, which is really great. The bar for this particular pilot has a white focus, a white target lock, a red coordinate, and a red jam. So you can essentially do either a stop or full reverse, or one of the bank reverses that's on the dial. Still do a coordinate action as you need to, and just put yourself in a lot of different positions there. And then the following turn, you got that Black Squadron R4 that can clear all the stresses that you accumulated from that particular turn. You just have a lot of good utility here. This is actually a really great coordinator. It doesn't have the best offensive output, but just depending on how much this is going to come in costing, this could be a really solid piece for the Resistance in order to coordinate and get your ships into a really good position to be aggressive if you need to. Being at Initiative 3, having that Leave No One Behind, you can make somebody boost, get the deplete, and then if they have a blue maneuver queued up, you don't even have to worry about the R0GR ability, or the For the Cause ability, rather. They can just clear that deplete with that blue. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that R0GR, that is a crew. That is not an Astromech.
Yeah,
you said Astromech, my friend.
Yeah, I did say Astromech. You're right. Yeah.
And so this has the same standard, like 2 attack, 1 evade. It has 5 hull and 3 shields. So that's kind of, I think that's still important. I don't think any of that is changing per se. I think that's what they originally had on the ship. But you can remember these are the ships that back up. Now, the question I have is the ROGR pilot, right? So like normally when we see some of these subtext, it's in color if they want it to be still a stressful maneuver. So do you think that this, when it says when you perform a calculate, or I'm sorry, a jam or a coordinate action, right? Like, because those are not in red, do they change? Are you able to use the ROGR to change those, or not?
Yeah, so you're still able to perform that action. It's just when you're performing it off of the action bar here, because the crew upgrade is not adding on an action
Okay.
onto it. So you're just doing it off of the bar of that particular pilot. So it's still going to be a red coordinate or a red jam, and then you're going to get that stress from it, but you get that calculate token on top of that, which is great.
Yeah. So I think what the better thing would be for this is like I think they should add like that little subtext like red, while you're, or stressful, just that way, or change those to red maybe. Um, but I think one of the cool things about this that I like is the fact that because you could take a couple of different turns. So because if you have two or fewer stress, you can still perform, your stop maneuvers or your reverse maneuvers, because I think these have the one banks reverses and one
Yeah,
straight reverse, right? So like you have a lot of utility. So even if you're a little bit farther ahead than them, you can reverse back, do your stop. You can still do the leave no one behind, give that deplete, and then on top of that, you're able to just go ahead and like let them be crazy. With because you can have your two stress, and then you could perform it, and then the next turn you just do a one forward, and it clears it.
yeah,
And now you're still behind everybody, and you have all this ability to do it. You can only do that twice. Um, I think this should be a 3 cost, but it's probably going to come in at a 4 cost, because this is actually, even though it says red coordinate, this is a white coordinating chip essentially, right? With the amount of ability to clear your stress and be able to
mhm,
perform stressful actions. This feels kind of like similar to a Tycho, um, cost wise. So my assumption is this will come in at 4 points. I don't know if we want this at 3 points either, right? Like, do you really want an 8 health ship to be at 3 points? I know you only got 1 agility, but man, like you
I
put it at
mean,
3
it
points,
is.
that's
Yeah,
crazy, right?
I mean, it for me, it feels at the same power level as the HMP for CIS. You know, it has a very similar health stat. It's not getting any bonus offensive like force for this. So for me, it does feel good at 3 points, and I think it could perform very well. The other part of it too is that you have other pieces in the resistance, like Lieutenant Bastion, I believe. I could be wrong, but it's the T-70 pilot that allows you to, after that pilot performs a blue maneuver, you can remove a stress from another ship. So that just opens up the dial even more for Pamage, since you could still, be double stressed, remove a stress, then still perform a red maneuver, and then still perform, the red calculate or the red coordinate action there, and you're not so limited on the dial with it. So there's a lot of synergy that you can use with that there. Or even if you have a Leia carrier in the crew, being able to change one of those maneuvers down and reduce the stress is really strong. So there's a lot of different options in the resistance that could really make this pilot shine. So yeah,
And that's why I wonder if this is going to have to come in at 4 points, JJ. Just for the pure fact that we're going to get something that is really like, this is a very powerful, in my opinion so far, this feels like a very powerful coordinator. And if you think about it, even though you only have the 1 agility, and you're right, like the HMPs were 3 points, but the HMPs don't have the ability to go backwards. The HMPs do not have the ability to do actions while stressed, like period. Like that's just
that's
like,
true.
that's what makes this crazier, is the fact that you figure an average game lasts 6 to 7 rounds twice throughout your game. So basically 30% of your game, you're allowed to clear all your stress. Um, I think this is going to come in at 4 points. If it comes in at 3, I think it's an auto include. If you want something that has a little bit more of a carrier piece to it, or a coordinating piece to it, it's going to make resistance have a little bit more of a rebels feel. But like, I mean,
Yeah,
I would take this immediately for somebody like, I mean, can you imagine having an X-wing sitting next to you that you give a focus to, like, and then like it could just then boost.
yeah.
I don't know. Seems crazy to me. I think this is going to come in at 4 points, but we'll see if I'm wrong. If it comes in at 3 points, folks, definitely, I would definitely try this one out. Well, this next pilot I'm real excited about. This is the Tally we all know and love that we fly all the time in Resistance. This is a A-wing version. She's still the I5. She's got the 2 attack, 3 agility, 4 health, 2 of those being shields, and 1 reoccurring charge. Her subtext is while an enemy is in your bullseye, performs an attack, you may spend the energy. If you do, the defender rolls 1 additional die. So that's pretty cool. Then obviously you have the refined gyro stabilizers. You can rotate. I don't think I've ever pronounced those before. You can rotate your turret to the front or the back, and after you perform an action, you may perform a boost or a red boost or a red rotate action. So that's just kind of similar. She also has the for a cause. While you defend or perform an attack, you may spend 1 non-blank result to choose a friendly, strained, or depleted ship at range 1 to 2, and that ship removes 1 of their strain or deplete tokens. So again, we're seeing, the theme here. She also has heroic. So obviously, if you have 2 or more, and you roll 2 or more blanks, you can re-roll those if they're defense or attack. She has, I believe this is new. I don't think we've seen push the limit after you fully execute a red maneuver or perform a red action. If you are not strained, you may gain 1 strain token to remove a stress token. That's actually pretty nifty because they can do their turnaround maneuvers, right? And if you don't have to worry about getting shot, you just get rid of that that stress token, which seems pretty good. And so now I have a timing question before. I'm sorry. They also have thread tracers, which is the standard 2 shots, and basically you could spend target lock, calculate, or a focus token, and you can spend 1 charge. And basically, if it hits, everybody around you, range 1 to 3, gets target locks. Now let's go back to that push the limit real quick. I have a question for it. So if you execute your turnaround maneuver, right? Is this kind of the same thing? You gain the strain to remove the stress token, therefore you can now take an action?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, correct. So as long as you're fully executing that red maneuver, then yes, you can trigger to push the limit there, which is a callback of the old 1.0 upgrade, just being able to just get that extra action out of it. They've changed it a little bit from the original 1.0 wording, but it's great. The best part of this too is the improvement to the action bar, because Tally actually also gets a new upgrade or a new action onto her upgrade bar. She has a focus linked into a red coordinate, so you can essentially focus, do a red coordinate. And since that is a red action, you can use push the limit. If you feel safe enough to take a strain onto Tally, you remove that stress token, and then you can do a rotate or a red boost after you do that as well, because you can link it since you no longer stress at that point. So essentially, you have the potential to do 3 actions and be in a really good spot with Tally. Now, she is a really great defensive buffer, right? Because her ability allows for a defender to roll 1 additional attack die, that as long as she has them in the bullseye using her ability. So she's using it herself. She can kind of negate that strain a bit. So there's a lot of great utility for her. Again, she's not overly powerful in terms of offense, but being able to just give out more actions to other units, like it makes her stronger, because you could potentially double mod a torpedo shot for Poe, for instance, or just get somebody to arc dodge somebody at I5 if they're able to boost or barrel roll out of the way. There's a lot of great utility for this. So yeah.
I think this is a great ship. This will come in at 4 points. There's no way that you're going to get this at 3 points.
No.
Hint.
At 4 points, this definitely feels like it's a strong auto include. I mean, the custom Tally already has a lot of points where you can put in torpedoes on her if you wanted to. But I feel like this is a very fair comparison between the two. I like it a lot.
Yeah, especially because you're at an I5, so you do have the ability to kind of arc dodge a little bit against some of the lists. Resistance feels very comfortable at that I5 level. So I think this is a great ship. I like this one better than the other one. This one I would definitely test out, especially just because of that push the limit type thing. Yeah. I really think that boosts the ship up quite a bit.
If for some reason this came out at 5, would you still consider it?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Now, if it didn't have thread tracers on it, I would. If it had a different like munition, I would 100%. Yes, but without it having the attack power, like I know you could do the focus, coordinate, take a strain, then do a boost to get out of people's way. And I guess technically, I guess you could shoot past them, do the focus, coordinate, take a strain, and rotate. And then but you're just not shooting your missiles anymore. So it's not like the SF ability. Like if it had an SF ability that allowed me to shoot the missiles out the butt, then I probably would pay 5. But I feel five's a little bit high. Like we haven't seen thread tracers be super impactful in the newer metas. Like back in 2.0, it was very good, right? Because it allowed your list was doing nothing but killing things, right? Now you got to do
Yeah.
all these other things. I don't think thread tracers are as like I would have rather seen like a mag pulse. If you put a mag pulse on there, I would probably consider this for 5 points. But it just I don't think it's going to want to live long enough to justify a 5 points when I could take some of the other X-wings for 4 points as it is.
That's
So
fair.
I
Yeah.
just no. I think 5 points is out of print for it. 4 points is if sweet spot, and if you give it to me at 3 points, I mean,
Yeah, 3 points, no way. Yeah,
Merry
no.
Merry
There's no
Christmas
way.
to Tanner. Tanner will only play Resistance then.
All right, awesome, man. So let's go into the last reveal that we got on for tonight. So we got a new version of a T-70 pilot, Kai Thornali, from the evacuation of the car, coming in with the base stats: 3 attack, 2 defense, 4 hull, and 3 shields. Its ability is similar to the original pilot, and it reads: after you fully execute a maneuver, if you move through a friendly ship, you may perform an evade action. And then it has adaptive edge foils, which is what we saw on the previous Poe reveal for the standard loadout. And it reads: after you perform a barrel action, you gain a deplete token. And while you perform an attack before rolling attack dice, if the defender's in your bullseye, you may remove 1 deplete token. And then this has the focus linked into a red barrel. It has the target lock action, has the barrel action, a white barrel action, and then it has a boost into red focus. Also comes in with the For the Cause. It also comes in with Heroic. It has the BB Astromech with 2 charges, which allows you to perform a barrel action during the system phase. And then it has the Repulsor Lift Engines, which is a new upgrade for this one here. And it reads: while you perform a barrel action, you may gain a strain token to use the
Oh my god.
bendy template instead of the straight template, which essentially makes this like a
Guri.
Star Viper.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Guri. And since you can combine that with BB Astromech, you can essentially do a bendy barrel during the system phase, gain that strain token, and if you dialed in a blue maneuver, you can go ahead and clear it after you perform that maneuver. It's super good. I like this a lot. At I4, you still have a lot of other ships that are very prevalent in the meta right now between all the different factions. This is a very relevant ability because it will allow you to art dodge. I'm pretty sure we're going to see this pilot a lot. It is really good. I think this is probably on par for Temin in terms of like how popular this is going to be. Like this is a really good ability.
Yeah, I like the bendy barrel roll things. Like I'll just admit right now, I like those. I think that does it for me with this ship. Like this ship will come in at 4 points. Is my guess. 5 points if they want to be very stingy. I would probably pay 5 for this. In fairness, it's with the 3 attack and 2 agility and then like 7 health. It's kind of like we all know these X-wings are a beast, and yes, you don't get the 2, you only get the 2, but how many times have we rolled heroic and it's worked? This ship is going to live a little bit longer if you like. I think okay, the ability to be able to perform that barrel roll as a bendy barrel roll, like at the beginning twice a game, like is super great because it now allows you to fly through ships and get your you now have the ability to get your free. I guess it's not free, but get your evade
Evade
token.
token.
He's so much easier. Like that was always like kind of the argument with her. Like she's really good. You get an evade token. You kind of kid her out a little bit. But what do? Like how often are you flying through a ship? Like I used to get that off maybe once a game if I was lucky. And I think like this allows her to be a knife fighter so much better because she's just going to be able to go through these ships, move on to the next one, hit the objectives. Like she'll be amazing in the assault, right? Like just being able to
Yeah.
go from one satellite to the next one and start shooting ships. I don't know. I think this is a really good one. Her being able to take the boost focus too, like that is that's great. Like that this was
Yeah.
stuff that like we dreamed of in Resistance for a long time. We didn't always have that. We always had to like lose your die, all these other things. Um
Yeah, really strong for sure. Like this is just whenever you have a ship that has the ability to have the potential to double reposition because you can reposition during the system phase and then afterwards in your activation phase with the boost into red focus, you can get into a lot of really great shots at range one and just do whatever you need to do with this. I mean, it's so good, and especially if you have your coordinator on top of that to link your actions ahead of time. I mean, you have even more flexibility here. These three pilots together in the list will definitely do very well together. This I feel like it has to come in at a 4 point cost in order for it to be really really effective. But I would even consider this at 5 because
yeah.
it's strong.
I would
Yeah,
consider this at 5, 100%.
yeah,
I think that
for sure.
like I think testing it would make that decision, but I mean these things do last a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So all right, well, that is all of our spoilers for today. We have a little bit of an organized play announcement that they released. So, JJ, tell us a little bit about the organized play, and then we'll wrap it up for tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got an announcement from the XWA in regards to the next season of OP that's coming out here. That was written by Tim King, who's their lead. We got the announcement for the next season of Organized Play, which is going to start on May 1st, following a 10 to 11 month period for all these different events that are going to happen. They will be running several events, which they're colloquially known as system open events, which will essentially replace the old regionals, nationals, or hyperspace trials of old in order for people to come in and play. The winner of those particular events will get a first round bye for the next worlds. So that is a really nice benefit that's going to have for those events. They are already printing out OP kits for those particular events that are coming up there. And we have 2 confirmed events that are happening this year. The first one is going to be the Welsh Open over at Firestorm Games in Cardiff. And it's going to be July 19th through the 20th. And they are selling tickets now for that event. So if you're going to be out there, definitely sign up early. They're going to have some great prizes for that. And then the next one is going to be the European Continental System Open, which is going to be in Belgium. And that's from August 28th and through the 29th. And that one's also going to soon start selling tickets for that particular event. So they will be announcing more events as they come up. So just keep an eye for the XWA as they announce more events for those official system open events. The other announcement that they had was the squad championships, which is great. These are essentially the more local store championship events that we used to have. They're now known as squad championships. They will be having OP kits that will become available. They're not available as of yet. But they're designed to cater for up to 16 players, and they'll have a bunch of different prizes there. And they still haven't revealed anything that in terms of like images for any of the prizes that'll be coming in there, but they will be displaying that soon. They do have an open link on the XWA website. If you are an organizer for your local store, you can click on that link, sign up for it. I know that since they posted this back on Friday, they've gotten quite a few responses for locals trying to order these kits for their stores that are coming up here. So definitely sign up as soon as you can if you're looking to host an event. And that way they can get all that information to you as soon as they have that available. So keep a lookout for that there.
Yeah, so it looks like we have quite a bit of stuff continuing as FFG kind of or AMG kind of winds down here this month. Um, I think this is a good turnaround. I do hope that we're able to get some of this stuff maybe in Michigan. I don't know. It would be nice to be able to have a little bit bigger community in Michigan. So I don't know. We'll see. I kind of think we'll see after Worlds how many people stick around to keep playing in Michigan, because if they do, we have like that Michigan GT, like that could easily apply for one of these. But like if we do, I gotta have a lot of people come, because like last time I put my neck out and we just didn't have that many people. Um, but if we could get enough people, I would host this again in Michigan and kind of go through that, especially with some of these new reveals that we're seeing. My assumption is we're gonna get these cards. Um, and my assumption is we're going to get these cards essentially after Worlds this year. So my assumption is they may not release them right then, but whenever they want to start that OP season, that's when we're going to start getting these. So
Yeah, definitely. Definitely go out and support, your local stores. Let them know. I know that there are quite a few stores that weren't aware of this particular announcement. I know that my own locals here, they had no idea that these were coming up. So let them know that these packs are coming out, so that way your organizer can reach out to the XWA to get these new packs that will be coming out here. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Lock and Roll Dwight Lindsay is the one that's taking care of designing some of these, and he's had some great designs in the past. So it's gonna be pretty great once they get those out and running. The other thing I want to give a shout out to is for the 312 squad, Mr. Nick Sperry. He is hosting the online event for the Conquest series. Where he's partnering with the XWA. He's going to hold several large online tournaments over the course of the year. So definitely check out 312 Squadron for that. That's going to be the online portion for all these major events. So check for the next event that's going to be in your local time zone, and sign up and play. Yeah.
And it looks like we have the squadron kits start at the 16 base, but you can add expansions on it, looks like.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Yeah.
I don't see a price on here.
Yeah, they haven't revealed any of
Okay.
that as of yet, but they will be soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So good to know, because I did not know. I just didn't see the price, but they do have the form. It is live, as you can see. I'm linked right to it. So, yeah. So basically, if you want to see like the full kit detail, they have a link in there as well. And then this is where my assumption is this is exactly where they will update everything for you. When it terms to what the contents are. So right now it says we're not ready to tell you. So, sad day, but there you go. This is essentially where this is going to be. My assumption is we will probably have some alt art cards for those standard loadout pilots they're coming out with. But either which way, you can find all of this on their website. We have a link in the description of the show, and it will allow you to be able to go and order it for your local. So exciting. I think we'll probably, I don't know, I'll talk to some of the guys. I probably just want a kit just anyway, just to play with. Like, I think that would just be kind of a fun time to be able to play.
Yeah.
Again, even if it's not at a super highly competitive level, it would be fun to be able to have a play kit again. So I do miss all of that.
Yeah, for real.
With that being said, we're going to wrap up for tonight. Thank you all. Those are some amazing spoilers. Thank you, XWA, for giving us an opportunity to spoil some cards. We will be back with another episode for X-Wing, probably in the next couple of weeks, or shortly after Worlds, one of the two, depending on how much time JJ has to help us put one together. If you haven't yet, we also have our Star Wars Unlimited podcast that we air weekly. You're welcome to check that out. We've got all sorts of new spoilers there. We got a new season we're going into with a brand new set, which is super exciting because it's pilots and it brings back all the memories of X-Wing. So, with that being said, thank you all. Have a good night, and we'll see you on the flippity flop.
Have a great one, everybody.